Welcome to the Next Step Fantasy Football Podcast, where we help you take the next step in your fantasy journey. Here's your host, Jake.
Welcome to the Next Step Fantasy Football Podcast. We're here to help you take the next step in your fantasy journey. I'm Jake. I'm joined by my friend Jordan. Jordan, how you doing?
Excellent. Draft is tomorrow, Jake. I feel like this is all we've been talking about for the last...
Draft is tomorrow.
Yeah, for the last month and a half, so can't wait.
We are not joined by Adam. He is away at a golf tournament today, teaching the youth of America.
Love that. Love that for him.
How do you think it's going?
Oh, excellent. Look, I'm repping my Black River Falls Tiger football.
So he is here in spirit.
He's here in spirit, yeah.
He is here in spirit.
I gotta wear his the swag that he sends around. Speaking of swag, look at that perfect transition.
Go ahead.
We're really looking to get into it, so keep an eye out.
I'm thinking t-shirts. Coming.
We'll start small, t-shirts, things like that. We might grow into something bigger.
So like you said, Jordan, today or tomorrow is the NFL draft. You're listening to this live with us right now on YouTube. Then it is Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. And the draft is tomorrow, which is super exciting. Jordan, tell the people why it's exciting.
Well, it's always exciting.
It's always
exciting. The draft. But we're going to Detroit. The Next Step Fantasy Football Podcast. Jake and I are headed to Detroit. Spend 3 days there, doing all the draft activities. We'll try and record an episode there, get some reactions or raw reactions after the first round. So we're just so excited. I mean, it's just gonna be a great time.
Excuse me.
Oh, Jake's not that excited. He had to go on mute. Or he's so excited.
Sorry, I'm coughing.
Yeah.
I'm just so exhilarated. Yeah, I mean, we're going to meet some people some listeners are going to be there. I know our boy Don's there. He thinks he's there right now. He's saying in the chat right now, the setup here in downtown Detroit looks great. He also did try a Mom's Spaghetti M&M's sandwich. Are you familiar with this?
The restaurant, M&M's restaurant?
Yeah. And it's just a sandwich with spaghetti in it. And I don't know how I feel about it, but it's something. So today, guys, to get us into it's the last time we're going to talk about before it actually goes down, I threw out some questions to people. I know, Jordan, you're going to do the news, but just telling people what we're going to do. Fact or fiction. So the way that worked, people told me bold predictions or whatever they thought was going to happen, and we're going to react to them. There's some fun ones. And then we're just going to tell you, fact, this is going to happen, or fiction, not a chance. That's how we're doing.
Is there any in the middle?
There's
it's
none.
Black and white.
You either
fact
telling
or
me
fiction.
this.
I guess it's going to happen or it's not.
How about this can happen or it won't happen? So I can live in can versus it will.
Nope.
Right?
Let's absolutes, Jake.
Well,
will or will not?
Some of these are pretty bold. So
I love it.
right.
Let's do it. Come on.
All right, Jordan, why don't you tell the people the news quick?
All right. A couple of rumors that I want to talk about, draft things, and then let's switch into news. So a couple of rumors that are interesting that I'm keeping an eye out on for tomorrow. Commanders, they say they're staying at pick 2. I believe it. Patriots open for business at pick 3. So they're apparently open to fielding calls, and they have not gotten a serious offer.
Yeah, I read today that they had laughable offers.
Wow. Okay. So maybe that changes tomorrow, but other things that could happen in those top 5 picks, Giants looking to trade up for Drake May. Those are the rumors coming out, so that's interesting, something to watch. And then Jaden Daniels' camp comes out today and says he hopes he lands with the Raiders or the Vikings. And I was like, sorry, buddy, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, and then,
an
hour later, he tweeted or he went on something. He's like, no, I'm cool with wherever I go. There's been a lot of Jaden Daniels drama in the last week.
I agree. It kind of seems that way. Like, apparently he was unhappy with his visit to Washington.
Yeah, so they had
players
Penix and May come in at the same day. So apparently the owner of the Commanders wanted to be part of this conversation, right? Mm-hmm. And it was the only day that would work for him. So he just brought everybody in at once. But he didn't tell anyone. So then Daniels was all mad because he thought it was just going to be him, and then he rolled up and he was like, "Oh, hey, Michael, hey, Drake." Yeah. So apparently they were upset about that.
Yeah, I'd be happy to be top pick.
Just be happy.
Draft. Yeah.
Cliff Kingsbury, fantasy purpose. We'll talk about it in a sec. But
yeah,
all right. Do you have anything else?
A couple of news stories that I want to talk about. So, Zach Wilson traded to the Broncos, and I'm just so sad Adam's not here to talk about it. Yeah, so sad he's not here to talk about it. But Jake, do you think he even starts a game?
So, hear me out.
Yeah.
If they don't draft a quarterback in the first 3 rounds, I think it's absolutely possible he could win the starting job.
Wow.
Is Jarrett Stidham the guy any more than Zach Wilson is? Like, if we're being honest.
Is Jarrett Stidham better than Zach Wilson? Is that the question?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I don't think it's
Jarrett the Jet QB1.
Come on. So I think it's possible. I don't see it for happening, though.
Some other news, Rashee Rice, we've been keeping an eye on that. They're expecting multi-game suspension out of that. So for fantasy purposes, something to keep an eye out. He was pretty much the primary wide receiver towards the end of the year. So we'll keep an eye on that. And then the other news that comes out, and we just got to give people their props. Matt Ryan officially retires from the NFL. He retires as a member of the Falcons. A legend. Love it. Way to go,
legend. Some more NFL side things. Amon-Ra St. Brown, highest paid receiver in the NFL now as of today. Penei Sewell, highest offensive lineman paid as of today. So Detroit just making moves the day before the draft.
Yep.
And then Ted Hendricks, the defensive end who's a stud for the Bengals, announced that he wants a trade out of Cincinnati.
That
happened like a few hours ago. And then they were like, we're not gonna do that. And then his agent is saying that he might retire.
Retire.
Yeah.
And this is Trey Hendrickson? Is that
correct?
Who you're saying?
Thank you.
Instead of Ted Hendricks?
Who did I? Oh, Ted Hendricks. Former, if anyone plays Madden, former Raider and Packer, left outside linebacker. Been playing a lot of Madden. It's on the mind.
What are you talking about? But yes, okay.
Don asks, T. Higgins requested a trade. Do you think they honor it? No, I don't. I think he stays in Cincinnati.
Yeah, and just a few weeks ago they said they expected him to stay. So it's definitely something to keep an eye out for. But Jake, sorry not to go back. Matt Ryan, is he a Hall of Famer?
No. I'll say no.
Okay.
If people have the question, is Eli Manning a Hall of Famer? If you say no to that, then Matt Ryan doesn't stand a chance.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on the train of yes to Eli Manning.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, he never got a chip. I think Joe Flacco is more of a Hall of Famer than Matt Ryan is.
Whoa.
He won a Super Bowl.
So that's it. If you win a Super Bowl, you're a Hall of Famer?
Okay, do we need to do this right now?
Well, you got me fired up. You got me fired up now.
Oh, jeez.
All right, anyway.
Hey, just on my phone, I'm pulling up all the fact or fictions. The Cowboys have met with Zeke Elliott.
Oh
man.
Oh boy.
So that's
they need running back, so I'm not surprised. But
all right. Let's get into this.
Fiction.
All right, so it's worth saying right now, it's probably going to be a shorter episode because we are also going to do an episode on Friday. So 2 episodes this week, so pretty exciting. So the way this works, I'm going to ask you a question. We're both going to answer it. This is from you guys, from listeners on our Facebook page, the Next Step Fantasy Football Podcast. A different Facebook page, Discord, all sorts of different places. So you can find us everywhere. Some of them outlandish, some of them not. Either it will happen or it won't happen. 0 chance.
I love it. Yep. It's like 1 or 0. It's like the game we used to play.
We're going to get things very correct or very not correct, and I think we're just going to have to make some bold predictions here. None of these are buckets. All right, let's start with the easy one.
All right, that's a good caveat.
Jesse, we're not going to do last names. So Jesse says, Jordan, Minnesota will trade their 2 first-round picks in order to move up.
Fact.
Yep.
So why they have them?
Where? Okay. We do need to expand here. Where do you think they go? 4, 3? Do you think they go into like 8? Like if there's a little. Because I think either way they're giving up these 2 first-round picks. So if Atlanta's trying to get back, or
Yeah, I think it will depend on the quarterback situation. And I kind of mentioned this last week. I think the Giants have a more compelling offer for teams to move up because they have a higher. You can stay in the top 10. So when you move down out of like the Patriots, they can move down a couple of spots rather than jump into like pick 11 or pick 12 or whatever the Vikings have. I think it's pick 11.
Yeah.
So I think that's who they're competing with to move up for a quarterback is the Giants. I think the Giants will be able to offer something better. But I think they'll move up, or they'll try and move up to I think they've offered something with the Cardinals, I think they probably offered something with the Patriots, and that might be one of the ones who got laughed out of the room.
Yeah.
No. But that's what we're looking at. I think they're moving up to 3, 4, or 5.
Yep.
That's to be specific.
Because you have to get one of those quarterbacks. So if you don't get traded up to 4, right, and you don't get Williams, May, Daniels, or McCarthy, you shouldn't be trading up to 5 to take Penix.
No, so agreed. Yep.
I'm laughing because in the chat, Jamie says Kadarius Toney has 2 Super Bowl rings. Is he a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, Jake. Jeez, we got to debate that one of these days. I'm putting that on a back burner for a future conversation because I do not like what you just said.
All right,
Joe Flacco.
Dustin says the Bears take Drake May at number 1. Let's get that out of the way. No.
Well, hey, Jake, I'm surprised you said that because you remember for months you and Adam were telling me Drake May is the best quarterback.
I still really like Drake May. I really do.
Get out of here. He's the 3rd best.
But spoiler alert.
He's the 3rd best.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
For fantasy purposes, Daniels will go higher in all drafts.
Of course.
Because of the rushing ability. Jamie says they just paid. I guess we'll talk about that in a sec. All right, so Joey had one. He just threw it down in the chat here, but I wanted to talk about this because it's super interesting. So he said the Chargers trade Justin Herbert to the Vikings for their 224 first-round picks and a 25.
And then draft.
And then most likely then you're drafting McCarthy at 5.
So they'd have 3 first-round picks this year and
they'd have
2
4.
first-round picks.
They'd have theirs. No, you're right, 3.
Theirs and the 2 Vikings plus 2 next year. So we're basically 5 first-round picks in the next 2 years.
Correct.
One of those is going for J.J. McCarthy.
I'm going to say fact.
That's a rebuild.
I'm going to say... So, okay.
You're going to say fact?
Just listen. It's fiction because as I was reading about that today, it would be the biggest... The Chargers eat the most cap in NFL history in order to trade away an elite quarterback, a young quarterback. So it's fiction. Now, let me tell you some stuff that I don't know if I messaged you about it. You didn't respond though, so kind of rude. But so for months,
I read your message.
For the months, the Chargers, the Vegas, right, the betting odds. You can bet on pretty much anything with this, and the bet was the Chargers are going to take, let's say, right guard with their very first pick. The odds were whatever. You could bet every position, if that makes sense. So the odds for the Chargers for months were if 100 to 1 that they take a quarterback with their first pick. Well, no matter where it was, 5 if they trade back to 9, whatever, right? Yep. Then on Monday, the odds jumped to 16 to 1. And then on Tuesday, they got as high as 6 to 1 at one point. Now these guys are hearing something. This is not just coming out of thin air, so there must be rumblings.
Well, the Vegas line, they changed not on rumors, they changed on where the money is going. So that means like people are pouring in money on that
there's
line.
This thought.
They're saying 100 to 1, I want it. And they're throwing money at it, and then that brings the odds down. But
so clearly there's some sort of conversation happening.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. That's a full fiction.
It is. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. You know what makes... everyone wants this McCarthy to be with Harbaugh. If you want that, just hope they take Blake, the running back, Blake Corum, in the second round or whatever. Get that connection. But otherwise, I don't think it's going to happen.
No.
All right.
They said that was part of the reason. Harbaugh said that was part of the reason he wanted to go to the Chargers over other places was because Justin Herbert was there. So, because there isn't a lot of other redeeming qualities about the Chargers. Like they have a bad cap situation this year. They have no good receivers. Like they have all kinds of issues. So to then get rid of the quarterback, that's no thanks.
All right. Matthew says the Bears take Caleb Williams. This is a parlay, if you will.
A parlay, I love it.
At 1.
Fact.
Hold on. And then McCarthy goes 3 to whoever.
Okay.
That's it. But you have to get both of them. So obviously, you got to say fiction if you don't think that second part's going to happen.
Would someone? So the question is, would someone trade up
to take McCarthy at 3? So
take McCarthy.
It could be the Patriots who take him at 3, or someone comes up at 3 and gets him.
I'm not as high on Drake May as you are. Like I think he is the third best.
McCarthy. So,
I know, but I'm just saying. But I think there is a gap between Drake May and J.J. McCarthy. Like Jaden Daniels, Drake May, whatever. Like, I have my opinions, you have yours. Like, whatever. We can debate that all day long.
Yeah.
There is a definite gap between J.J. McCarthy and Daniels and May. So I'm going to say that this is fiction, and a team will want Drake May more than they want J.J. McCarthy, and will trade up for it. Or the Patriots. Or if the Patriots are sitting there, they're not going to take J.J. McCarthy over Drake May.
I agree.
Yeah. So fiction.
I'm going to say fiction as well. We do need to say fact on some of these, though. Don't just poo-poo them all.
But you gave me trading Justin Herbert away for 3 first-round picks.
Okay, that one's fine.
Come on, give me something realistic.
We got 10 more, so.
All right, come on.
I will go.
The next one
I will go fiction.
I'll defend it to my dying breath. The next one, whatever you say, it's fact.
All right.
Come on, do it.
Trevor says Colts trade up and take Marvin Harrison Jr.
Oh, they gotta. They gotta do it. Are you kidding? You gotta bet. Anthony Richardson coming off an injury. You gotta do it. I don't know where
are the Colts sitting. Here, I got it.
12, 13.
I mean, we've done so many mock drafts. I feel like
they are sitting at 15.
So they'd have to move up probably 10 spots, roughly.
10 spots. Yes, because they would need the Cardinals pick. Because if the Cardinals are sitting there, they'll probably take.
Yeah.
Marvin
so
Harrison.
Probably 4. They probably have to move up to 4.
Or to 5. They'll other have to trade with the Chargers if the Cardinals trade their pick away. But I'm not opposed to. I will say I'm not opposed to the Colts taking a wide receiver or trading up to target a wide receiver like that.
Yeah, a Dunze would be probably more likely, right?
Like if you moved up to 9 or something, like the Bears want to move down, they don't want a Dunze, so you move up like that.
Yeah.
I think is in the cards. Wouldn't be surprising, but
yeah, Joe
move all the way up to 4 to take Marvin
really
Harrison.
hard. Joey says moving up to 9 to take. He suggested Brock Bowers.
Yeah, but just like getting yourself into the top 10 for one of those talents. Because then again, I think all those pass catchers, Bowers, Adunze, Neighbors, Harrison are gone in the top 10.
Gotcha.
So if you want one of them, you got to get in there.
So fiction to Marvin Harrison, but fact to moving up
for a wide receiver. Yeah,
I like it. I think it's certainly possible. Why not? Yeah. They got to get ahead of the Jets. That's the problem, right?
Yes.
All right,
and I think the Bears might shop pick 9. I think that's
I
very
think that's
much
very possible.
Yeah.
All right, I'm skipping around here, so it's not all about quarterbacks. Daniel says 20 offensive players will be taken in the first round. 20.
Fact. In mocks that we've been doing, I was just talking to someone. Source close to
the pod.
And
is he downstairs right now?
We were just looking at the mocks. We were looking at the mock we put together, and we were like, man, look at all these offensive linemen that are going. Like it's just like tackle after tackle after tackle. And I absolutely think that we could be in for just so offensive heavy in this draft. So I'm gonna say fact. I like it.
6, 7.
You're kind of looking at it, right?
I'm looking at it right now. Hold on. 10.
Like there might be none that go. There might be no defensive players that go in the top 10. Like we're thinking maybe it's like Dallas Turner, maybe.
So we have 19.
But there might be none.
We have 19 in our first round in our mock
so
that we'll be posting.
It's so possible
tomorrow. So yeah, and that's not counting any trades or anything like that. So, Joey says there will be 10 offensive linemen taken in the first round. That's a good one.
Ooh.
That's. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I like it. I like where your head's at.
10 offensive linemen.
Yeah. All right, let's keep it going. Daniel also says a star player will be traded during this draft. So let's say, but somewhere between AJ Brown and DeAndre Swift, because that's what happened. Because Swift was traded during the draft last year to the Eagles.
And AJ Brown, that's what I'm remembering.
So it was AJ Brown, and we went nuts, and then Swift later.
Yep.
Was it 2? How many drafts? Is this our second draft or our third draft we're doing?
Third,
yeah. So it was AJ Brown, the first one, and then Swift. So a star player will be traded. I'm going to say fact.
I'll say, you know what?
I like the T. Higgins. I think the T. Higgins thing is always possible. I don't think Justin Jefferson's getting traded, but there's these names that have been floated around, right? And maybe there's someone we just don't know.
that I'm not thinking of. I'm trying to just like rack the brain here a little bit of that. But, I think a player that will be fantasy relevant next year will be traded in the draft.
Love it.
I love it.
All right. Let's keep her going. All right. Stealth was the guy's Discord name. Casey trades up for a wide receiver. Hold on, and I'm just gonna pair so you can tell me which one's fact and which one's fiction, because we also have Jarek who said the Chiefs will trade out of the first round. So, which one do you think is happening more than likely?
Can I say both are fiction? I think they're just going to be happy to chill there, let everyone beat each other up, trading up and around, and they're just going to... It's a luxury pick for them. Like whatever.
And they're going to take Ladd McConkey.
Yeah, like Ladd will be there for them at pick 32 if that's who they want. So they can take him there, or and everyone else can jump each other and trade picks and do all this and blah, 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 and they'll just take the guy that they want. Mm-hmm. It's like when they took, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. It's like you're just sitting there and you just take the person that you want, and whether it's even a little reach or not, you just take them. So I'm going to say fiction to both because they're going to stay in their spot.
I will say fact to trading out. I think when you have whenever you're talking about picks 25 through 32, and there's not this pressing need. I mean, they need a receiver, but it's not like they just won the Super Bowl, right?
They just won the Super Bowl, exactly. Yeah.
And if there's a quarterback that slips, people always want to trade in the first round because you get that 5th-year option.
I didn't even hear that. That's
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly possible.
Penix is sitting there or something like that.
Yeah, I want to see if Denver misses out, right? Or somebody, maybe not Denver, but whoever could trade in to the back half of the first round to get that other option. Does the team panic and take a Spencer Rattler in the back half of the first round after Bo Nix has already went, or something like that? You know what I mean?
That would be a panic. That would definitely
be a panic. I mean, I think he's a second-round guy, so I don't think it's crazy, but it'll be interesting. But I think more. If I had to bet the house, I'd say trading back is more than likely. So, Henry asks, the Giants will take a quarterback in round 1.
Fact.
Okay. They just paid Daniel Jones so much money.
Yeah, it's a bad choice.
I mean, you could just take him and have him sit for a little bit if you want. But I don't know. You think they're taking a quarterback?
Yeah, I tried to defend Daniel Jones last year.
You sure did.
He was my Miles Sanders, Jake. I was like, Daniel Jones, the rushing upside, he's a top 10 quarterback. He's just, the offense is humming, love what Brian Dable's doing. We got Saquon. Then they were like,
you guys suck.
Yeah, let's trade him to a rival. Let's, trade Saquon to a rival. And he's injured for most of the year. And, it's a mess. So I think that smart teams, if they realize that they haven't made an error at quarterback, they just do whatever it takes to get out from under it. So I think that they draft a quarterback. They're both on the roster. By the end of the year, new quarterback is starting.
All right. I will say fiction. I just don't see it happening.
You think they're going to ride the Daniel Jones train?
I think they will.
All right.
I think Brian Dable will. Ego is too big. Ego is too big of a deal. I don't think they should. There was a suggestion for a star as Nick Chubb possibly getting moved, which is I could totally see happening. Really could, after a second major knee injury.
And they showed that the Browns showed that they could have still one of the best run games in the league with anyone. So he reworked his deal, so maybe the cap space issue is no longer a thing. But anyway,
let's do a few JJ McCarthy ones quick. So first one, JJ McCarthy falls outside the top 10 or top 5. Okay, Dallas Turner. Oh geez. So first, he falls out of the top 5. Fact or fiction?
Fact.
I'm gonna say fiction. I think someone trades up with the Cardinals and takes them.
That would be 4 quarterbacks in the top 4 picks. Has that ever happened? I don't think in the history of the NFL that's happened. So
I think it happens.
I'll say fiction.
Dallas Turner goes to the Falcons. I'll say fact. I think that's where our first.
That one's almost a lock.
Unless they trade out. And whoever goes to the Commanders will be the rookie fantasy quarterback 1. And that's super interesting.
Fiction.
You still think it's Caleb Williams?
It's Caleb Williams, no matter what. It's still Caleb Williams. The Bears are too good to on offense to not.
I think if Jaden Daniels goes to, because of the rushing ability upside, I think that could put him ahead of Caleb Williams. You know, if you run for 7 touchdowns, that's a big deal. If you run,
yeah, but you don't think Caleb Williams got a couple of rushing touchdowns?
Yeah, but he's not going to run for 800 yards, which is totally something Daniels could do. 800's a bit big, but you know what I'm saying.
I guess, yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
I just don't trust Washington's offense.
No, I get that. Yeah. All right, another one. Blakely says J.J. McCarthy doesn't go until late first, early second, and Penix goes before him.
JJ, so Penix goes before JJ?
Yeah. And then JJ goes late first, early second.
Fiction, because there's no way that JJ falls to the second.
Agree. 100% agree.
Could JJ slip? I'm sorry, I'm kind of changing this up. Like, could someone else go ahead of JJ? Is JJ not number 4?
That's the question.
Really think about this. No.
Yeah,
too many teams want him to.
It wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't, though, if someone was like, "Give me Penix."
Someone would trade up to take Penix over McCarthy.
Well, I don't think you have to trade up. Like if for some reason McCarthy falls, and we hit the Raiders, they've talked about how much they love Penix.
Yeah, but you think that he's making past the Giants?
No, I'm just saying it could happen. I just don't.
That's a lot of ifs. That's a lot of ifs.
We're supposed to be decisive.
Fiction. I'm calling it fiction.
I'll say fiction as well.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I just keep coughing.
Unacceptable.
All right, we got 2 more. Unacceptable. Minnesota will move up to 9. So 9 is currently Chicago.
Yep.
In order to take Penix. So in this scenario, I'm guessing McCarthy has went 4 or 6 or whatever.
Yeah.
So now you have to trade up ahead of Denver, Las Vegas, and a sneaky one. I don't think they'd do it, but the Jets will need a quarterback here in a year. Just saying. So you'd have to trade up.
The Vikings trade up to 9.
So there's 2 first-round picks. Get them to 9.
That's moving up 2 spots for them. I say fiction because
you could just wait.
You could wait. Like, the Bears aren't taking a quarterback.
And the Jets probably won't either.
Assuming the Jets aren't taking. But I also could see if the Bears are shopping pick 9 and there are quarterback teams, like Denver's trying to trade up, or something like that. They're taking a quarterback. Then the Vikings could probably get in that sweepstakes a little bit.
Just to try and
I see the path there. I'm going to say fiction, though.
Joey suggests the Raiders move back in the first round in order to take Penix. I think that's more likely. So.
Yes. I think if the rush on those 4 QBs go right away and they kind of knock out some of those QB needy teams, like right off the top of the draft, I think teams sitting back like Denver, like Oakland, like Vegas are contenders to move down to take people like Bo Nix. And there might be another scramble in the early 20s for people trying to get Bo Nix and Michael Penix.
Which I feel Bo Nix in my opinion, Bo Nix kind of gets shafted a little. I think he is a first-round talent. He's just not getting pushed up like the other guys are.
And I think part of it too for both of them is their age. You want these young guys because you want them to grow into their talent. And I think you the known commodities, what you're getting out of Penix, what you're getting out of Nix, which are still good, but you kind of are always going to take the high upside instead of that. So
I think people are these guys are really good, right? Caleb Williams is really good. May's good. Daniels is good. McCarthy's probably going to be good, right? I think people are easily forgetting that it hasn't happened in a really long time where the top 4 or 3 teams that get pick 1, 2, and 3 all need quarterbacks. Typically, you'd have a team that has a quarterback already, and Dallas Turner's going higher, right? They'd be spread out a little bit more. So I think having a first-round grade on Bo Nix, he's just right where he needs to be. He's the pick 20, to a quarterback-needy team. It's just interesting because there's all these quarterback-needy teams, and then you get to Minnesota, or you get to Denver at 12, and then after that, is it 12? And then
12.
Where's the Raiders? 13?
Raiders are right after them. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. So you get
12 and 13.
Yeah, yes. So I'm looking at it. So you get 13, and after that, there's this massive gap of people who don't need him anymore. No one needs a quarterback after that. Yeah. So I think Bo Nix is right where he should be. Is kind of what I'm trying to get at.
Yep. Also, so you think 6 quarterbacks go in the first round?
Yeah, I do.
Penix, Nix, McCarthy, May, Daniels.
Currently, I was just looking at betting odds. 4.5 is the bet, which is nuts. Go spend your money on that. If you can find 4.5, because that's Williams, May, Daniels, for sure. And you can safely assume McCarthy. And then you just have to hope.
So you're basically saying
Nix goes
like Nix
after pick 12. Or they could all go
maybe
in the first
after pick 5. Yeah. Maybe
so
after pick 5.
I like that 3. Or that. All right.
Jamie's asking in the chat, my last thing on quarterbacks here is history says that about 55% of first round QBs end up being a bust. Which 3 is it? And I will say that it is Drake May, JJ McCarthy, Penix. That's my 3. If all 6 go in the first round and half of them are going to hit and half of them are not, which 3 are going to hit?
Well, then I'm going to go Bo Nix, Penix. I'll go later on. And then I'd go to McCarthy. I think the top 3 are going to be really good.
Oh, you think the bottom 3 are going to be the busts?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. All right. I like it.
Someone says, and there's John saying that it's going to be Caleb. All right. This last one, Chris says there's a strong possibility that the first 4 picks are all quarterbacks. Fact or fiction? I said fact earlier. I think that's what's going to happen.
It's going to happen. Yeah. It's going to happen. It just seems so unlikely. It's never happened. It seems so unlikely.
I think it happens.
It's probably going to happen. Fact.
Fact. That was it. That was the last one. Appreciate you guys hanging around. I will post something on our Facebook page, but make sure you're following us on Instagram, next_step_pod, and TikTok for as long as it's around. Next Step Fantasy Podcast as well, because we're going to be posting a lot of stuff. We're going to get Jordan to run the 40-yard dash.
Yeah, look out.
Yeah, see your vert.
I'm going to beat Adonai Mitchell. Look out.
We're going to post all sorts of fun stuff while we're there. And then new episode coming out Friday, and we'll be doing that. And then tomorrow morning we'll post our last mock draft. We kind of hope our official one.
Yep. That we stand by. Well,
so it's gonna be a good time. Kick a field goal. We're gonna
all the good stuff. Yeah, I'll get some good video. We'll make sure we share
something. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, share them on the socials.
So just kind of keep a look out there. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. Maybe we'll live stream something. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Kind of just depends on the vibe. So we'll see you guys there. Jordan, you have anything else you want to say?
No, can't wait. Double episode week, all draft all the time. That's all I've been thinking about.
That's all we've been thinking about. All right, guys. We'll see you there. Take care. Be good.
Listening to the Next Step Fantasy Football Podcast. Follow and subscribe on Facebook and YouTube at the Next Step Fantasy Football Podcast.